Rik Zortman never liked running, but his 3-year-old son Armstrong did. When he died from cancer, Zortman used GPS to track a run, spelling out his son's name. He started getting more names to run and hasn't stopped since. Humankind, Avoca, Iowa. Rik Zortman looks lost. Squinting against the sun, he quickly glances between his cell phone's screen and the surrounding landscape. He lifts a pointer finger and draws in the air, coordinating his route on a floating map only he can see. But Zortman isn't really lost. He's exactly where he needs to be, in the middle of creating a giant letter R, and he wants to make sure he gets that R's loop perfect. On this warm fall morning, Zortman is running the name Regan, using his smartphone's GPS tracking app to record every step, hence his care in ensuring the R's curve is especially bulbous. Later, he'll post a screenshot of his highlighted route to Facebook. And he'll tag Regan Hulsing, a childhood cancer survivor he knows from the hospital hallways he frequented when his son was struggling with the same disease. Regan marked name number 100 for Zortman, meeting the goal he set in September when he started all this by running Armstrong, the name of his son who passed from brain cancer in 2009. His idea was to run 100 names in 30 days to raise consciousness during Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, but the endeavor has extended way past its deadline. Since posting his offer to run the name of any childhood cancer survivor, victim or current fighter on social media, Zortman has received nearly 150 names. And he gets more suggestions almost every day. So the 44-year-old dad who calls himself a human Etch-a-Sketch has decided to keep running names until he's done them all, posting each finished route to Facebook with a short message of hope. His feet rhythmically pounding the pavement, Zortman finds peace and time to reflect on the son he lost when he jogs. He still has trouble talking about the 3-year-old boy with a firecracker personality, but these morning runs offer quiet, personal moments to remember Armstrong. The rural Iowa resident runs a lot and has spent the last year or so challenging himself to create increasingly unique patterns and designs using his tracker app. The name plan came in a flash of inspiration as he was running Armstrong. But the more he thinks about the past month, the more running words and phrases makes sense to him. After all, this whole unexpected journey started with a single word: cancer. In 2008, Zortman had a pretty perfect life. He was married with 4 beautiful children: Montgomery, Isabella, Jackson and Armstrong. Had climbed the ranks of the Air National Guard before leaving to work with a military contractor in Qatar. He was away from his family, but making good money. He was close to his children, particularly his youngest, Armstrong, who had his fiery personality and was just a joy to be around. Zortman said, he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and if you saw his face, he would melt your heart in a second, he said. On November 20, 2008, Zortman woke up early and found $1 on the ground on the way to work. Well, he remembered thinking, that's got to be the sign of a great day to come. But just before 8 a.m. with that loose dollar folded in his pocket, his wife called, panicked and crying, to say that Armstrong was having a seizure and she was on the way to the hospital. I just sat there and I was like, what am I supposed to do 7,000 miles away, Zortman said. In a state of numbness, he began the paperwork for emergency leave and flew home to find Armstrong in surgery at the Children's Hospital of Omaha. Worry enveloped Zortman, and knowing his son was very sick made everything just a little bit hazy, but one image is still clear: his son's little shaved head and the deep scar that formed a question mark around one of his ears. The doctors told Zortman his son had glioblastoma, a rare form of brain cancer. I didn't know how to take it, he said. But the diagnosis shocked Zortman's. From his numbness and into action, he took a leave of absence and became Armstrong's caretaker. His son went through chemotherapy and a host of other treatments, including steroids that made his little body bloat from 31 pounds to 63 pounds, Zortman said. Armstrong soon lost the ability to walk as cancer engulfed his brain. He had to wear diapers and eventually could only use one of his hands. At home, head rest in a tiny reclining chair, the family gathered around. He would sit there and all of us talk to him and kind of play with him and just enjoy time with him, Zortman said. On April 3, 2009, Zortman's birthday, the family found out that there were 2 areas on Armstrong's brain stem that were inoperable. Less than a week later, Zortman took Armstrong to treatment, just like he did every weekday. The little boy had stayed so still and been so good that they picked up a reward on the way home: McDonald's fries. At about 10:40 p.m., Armstrong had his last seizure. He passed at the local hospital. Zortman and his then-wife held their son for as long as they could and returned home to cry themselves to sleep. They told their other children the next day, and a funeral was soon arranged. The little chair that had become so central to the family's life held the imprint of Armstrong's tiny head for 6 weeks after he died, Zortman remembered. Holistic healing. For more than a month after his son's death, Zortman remained in a period of cloudiness. People would bring meals. Friends would offer condolences. But the days ran together. Before Armstrong's passing, a local group planned a 5K run in his name. The group went ahead with the race after his death, and Zortman participated, even though he wasn't a runner. Somewhere along that simple down and back course, Zortman got lost in the cadence of the pounding of his footsteps. He felt a momentary peace. That cloudiness lifted, and he remembered how his son loved to run. "I thought if I could just do one thing that he liked to do, I'm going to continue doing it," Zortman said. In psychology circles, the death of a child is known as the most unbearable type of grief, said Susan Kula, a psychiatry physician assistant at Des Moines Pastoral Counseling Center. "Parents get old and die, but with a child, that's not supposed to happen," she said. "There is a life that never gets to grow up and become an adult." Physical exercise is a prescription many therapists give to the patients dealing with grief or depression, said Ashley Maury, the clinical director of behavioral health at Children Families of Iowa. Exercising increases oxygen and blood flow to the brain, which can combat depression by growing new brain cells, Maury said. And the body's movement triggers neurotransmitters and endorphins, both known to play a role in mood control and help with the emotional symptoms of grief. "Healing is holistic, and I have definitely seen people use exercise as a coping skill," Maury said. "It can become life-altering for people." While Maury doesn't know Zortman, she said his process of running and posting children's names could be a huge source of empowerment for those he tags on social media. "That connection with others who have had the same experiences as you, that can be huge when going through grief," she said. "It can give hope and meaning to very tough times." Finding a purpose. Tom Harris lost his son, Tyler, to brain cancer in 2013. But before Tyler passed, Harris met Zortman at various Iowa cancer events, and the two became friends. They've stayed in touch, intrinsically connected in the fraternity of parents who lost children to cancer. On a September morning, as Iowa played Iowa State in football, Harris opened Facebook to see Tyler's name spelled out in a GPS route that Zortman had run. Zortman wrote "Go Hawks" in the status to commemorate the bond that Harris and his son shared over Hawkeye sports. "I was just touched," Harris said. "We've received some gifts over the years, but this was even more special because Zortman took the time to do it himself." Part of Zortman's healing process in the nearly 10 years since Armstrong's death has been to make himself available to parents who are fighting for the children or struggling with the grief. "I tell them that life won't be the same," Zortman said, his voice catching. "But I will tell you that if you want to remember them, the one thing they love to do." For Zortman, that one thing was running, his saving grace. Since Armstrong's death, Zortman has run 2 triathlons, 19 half marathons, and countless 5 kiloseconds and 10 kiloseconds. Every time he crosses a finish line, he gets a little emotional. Runners understand the passion and sensitivity that washes over you when you set a personal best, but even die-hard racers don't know that for Zortman, those tears aren't for the competition, but for the child he lost to cancer. "Everybody has a purpose in life, and the purpose God gave me for Armstrong was the fact that he got me running," Zortman said. "Because if he was still alive today, I wouldn't know anything much about cancer, and I wouldn't know any of the parents that have kids that passed away. When he runs now, he finds the same peace he did during that very first run. He thinks about what Armstrong would be doing as a young man and what his goals for the future may have been. And he finds himself thinking that maybe Armstrong would be right there running next to his dad, spelling out words and phrases on an invisible map and feeling just fine about looking a little lost. How about a little more happiness? Join us to get the best of humankind in your inbox. We always have something good to share. CLOSEHUMANKIND. Daily Cry. Daughter brings graduation to hospital from mom's last memory. 04 for when Patty was too sick to leave her hospital room, daughter Samantha brought her high school graduation to her mom. Humankind 1 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Young mother kept alive for 123 days so her babies could survive 102 Franquelin da Silva Zampoli Padla never got to meet her twins, but she was a warrior for them until the very end. HUMANKIND 2 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Our hearts are watch soldiers reunite with loved ones 049 The Nevada Army National Guard's 485th Military Police Company returned home to Reno after a 9-month deployment on Thursday, July 6, 2017. HUMANKIND 3 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Helped by a stranger on a difficult day, she unknowingly returns the favor 202 Tunde Hector and the Wright family were all connected in a serendipitous way. HUMANKIND 4 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Son tells mom HESK she reacts in the best way 108 Matthew Christian recorded the moment he came out to his mom, Robin. Her reaction is heartwarming. Humankind 5 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Dad ugly cries when he opens envelope from stepson 059A Dad thought he was getting a simple gift, but his stepson surprised him with adoption papers. Humankind 6 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry he drops to his knees when he finds out he'll be a dad 056 Destiny Prince called her boyfriend home for lunch so she could tell him she was pregnant. His reaction couldn't have been sweeter. Humankind 7 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Dying NJ Judge performs daughter's wedding ceremony 058 It's never easy losing a parent, as sisters Christina and Casey Capalco of West Long Branch know. But before their father Paul died, he fulfilled his oldest daughter's childhood dream with help from her sister and the rest of the family. Humankind 8 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Mom hears son's heartbeat after his death 034 She listened to her son's heartbeat in another man's chest. HUMANKIND 9 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry Heartbreaking moment Horse cries at owner's funeral 053 The heartbreaking moment a horse cries at his owner's funeral has been caught on camera. Wocket 10 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry after a fatal diagnosis, he lived long enough to become a father 117 Newlyweds Jenna and Josh fight a fatal brain cancer diagnosis while Jenna is pregnant with the first child. Humankind 11 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry boy sobs as he sees colors for the first time 112 Kaysen has been unable to see colors for his entire life. Now that he has these special glasses, he and his parents can't stop crying. Wocket 12 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry man dies from a broken heart, passes away a day after his wife 046 After 64 years of marriage James' wife passed away. A day later, he joined her. Wocket 13 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry the heart-melting moment a toddler meets his little brother 059 This is the heartwarming moment a big brother meets his newborn baby sibling for the first time and can't stop hugging and showering him with kisses. Wocket 14 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry 10-year-old reads heartfelt letter asking his stepdad to adopt him 049 for his 10th birthday. Kalani read a heartfelt letter to his stepdad reminiscing on all the things they did together. Then he asked his stepdad to adopt him. Humankind 15 of 16CLOSEHUMANKIND Daily Cry couple overcomes 6 miscarriages and cancer to fulfill dream of having kids 114 Chad and Stacy persevered through 8 years of heartache. Humankind 16 of 16 last video next video daughter brings graduation to hospital for mom's last memory young mother kept alive for 123 days so her babies could survive our hearts are watch soldiers reunite with loved ones helped by a stranger on a difficult day she unknowingly returns the favor son tells mom HESK she reacts in the best way dad ugly cries when he opens envelope from stepson he drops to his knees when he finds out he'll be a dad dying NJ judge performs daughter daughter's wedding ceremony. Mom hears son's heartbeat after his death. Heartbreaking moment. Horse cries at owner's funeral after a fatal diagnosis. He lived long enough to become a father. Boy sobs as he sees colors for the first time. Man dies from a broken heart. Passes away a day after his wife. The heart-melting moment. A toddler meets his little brother. 10-year-old reads heartfelt letter asking his stepdad to adopt him. Couple overcomes 6 miscarriages and cancer to fulfill dream of having kids. Reader, share this story. https://usa.ly to share.